Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for tuning in today. So I've asked Sumit to do Jai Radha Madhava for 5 minutes and then we can begin our lecture. So over to you, Sumita, please.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare O Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe O Jaya Radha Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai, Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Hare Krishna, everyone. So thank you very much for joining the Zoom call today. Bhuvaneshwari Radha Mataji, and there is Bharti Patel Mataji, and our Govind Prabhu, and Hari Chukwasi Prabhu. Thank you very much, Hari, for tuning in. And there is Lalita Preeti, Madhvi, Madhu Mataji, Nisha Mataji, and Radhamohan Prabhu, Radha Vinod Prabhu, Ram Nityananda Prabhu, and Jashubahan Mataji, and Madhakumar Prabhu is also there.
Present, sir.
Hare Krishna. So today we are beginning a new topic. So the topic is, it's a series that we wanted to do. So from this Friday onwards, most Fridays we will be focusing on Gita and take the jewels from Gita. So we will do some topic wise rather than chapter wise, but we will select some topics, main topics. Just by reading and understanding these topics, we will get the essence of Gita. So Gita is very famous all over the world. So all acharyas, all great people, all great commentators, they have read Gita thoroughly. All our acharyas, you name Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada, and other acharyas, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and yes, Shankaracharya. So everybody had read Gita thoroughly. So we can today here we will take some essential points very from Gita. So let me do the invocation prayer to bring the auspiciousness to this speech. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Asmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha Krupa sindubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Just quickly have a look at the YouTube as well. Okay. So obviously, everybody is aware the background to Bhagavad Gita. So the literal meaning of Bhagavad Gita, that itself says Bhagavat means related to Bhagavan or related to God, song of God. So it is not a song of man, it is the song of God, Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna instructed this Bhagavad Gita to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra when he was in full dilemma, whether to fight or not to fight. He was completely lost his composure. He was in complete panic attack. He lost his composure. Like if we read the first chapter, we know that at the end of the first chapter, he threw his bow and arrow aside and he just sat down on the chariot saying, Krishna, I'm not going to fight. And in the second chapter, verse 7, he surrenders to Krishna. I'm completely in dilemma. Dharma sammuda chetasa. I don't know what is right, what is wrong. So please tell me what is the best, what I need to do now. So I am a soul surrender unto you. So there is a difference between Arjun and Krishna. So Arjun got bewildered, right? Arjun was in dilemma. Arjun didn't know whether to fight or not to fight. And he took shelter of Krishna. He's asking Krishna's advice. So Arjun and Krishna, they are not on the same platform. Arjun is on the receiving end and Krishna is on the giving end. So we are also in our day-to-day life, we also go through so many problems, so many dilemmas. I'm sure that, Bhagavad Gita, by reading and understanding, we can also get some light and some peace, because at the end, from second chapter, in the first chapter, he got completely lost his composure. He was in dilemma, but after hearing entire Gita, Arjun, what does he say? That Stitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Oh Krishna, I am completely free from doubt. Stitosmi, I am situated. Gata sandeha, free from doubt, no doubts at all. And karishe vachanam tava, I will do whatever you say. So this is the effect of reading Gita, that we will know what is duty, what is not duty, what is right, what is wrong. This Bhagavad Gita, Radha Vinod Prabhu was telling that this is like a manual for humankind. Radha Vinod Prabhu nicely explained last Friday that whenever we buy an equipment, a gadget, you get a manual in which the instructions, how to operate it, how to use it are given. So if we follow those instructions, we'll be able to operate that in a better way. Similarly, if we want to live a better life while working in this material world, and this is the manual for all of us to read and understand and put into practice. So let's see a couple of things from Gita. What do we get? Sometimes people ask, why should I read Gita? And Gita, there is an answer to this question. Let me share the screen, and I may ask someone to read as well. Okay, just let me close the screen here. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'll read a verse from Gita. It gives, the benefit of reading Gita. It tells the benefit of reading Gita. This is from 18th chapter, 71 verse. Shraddhavananasuyascha shrunyadapiyo naraha so api muktaha shubhalokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. Govinda Prabhu, you want to read the translation? Please unmute.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and the auspicious planet where the pious dwell.
Yes, so if one listens this subject matter with faith and without envy, one will become free from their sinful reactions and attains the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. So this is the benefit of reading Gita, that there is some contamination in us. Those the contamination, there all the contamination will disappear. And Gita, so as our title says, there are 5 main topics in Gita. The first one is, it tells who is the controller. In Sanskrit, it is termed as Ishvara. There is a controller beyond this material world who controls everything. And next one is living entity. We are all living entities. So this living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So that is the subject matter. It deals who is the Ishvara, and that Ishvara is explained, the controller, supreme controller is explained as Sri Krishna in every page of Bhagavad Gita. And the living entities, we are all the living entities, spirit, soul. And the third one is Prakriti, that means material nature. How the material nature works, how we are put into this material nature. And then the fourth topic was Kala, time. And the time factor, who controls the time, what is the duration of this material world, what is the duration of Brahma, what is the duration of other planets as well, other yugas. At the end, there is karma. Karma means action. We do something and then there is some reaction. So these are the 5 main topics that were explained in these 18 chapters in various ways. And so to understand Bhagavad Gita, if we can understand these 5 topics, then we'll be able to understand Bhagavad Gita to some extent. So the first topic today is Ishvara, the controller. So we will see who is the controller. So in the what do people think in general about the controller? So let me ask this question. What do people think? What do people think in general? Is there a controller? When you ask people, what do people say? There is no controller. Everything is happening automatically.
We have free will.
Yes, we have free will. Is that Ian Prabhu?
Yes, it is, Prabhu.
Nice to hear your sweet voice.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Paul, Hare Krishna. Does anybody know in Gita, Krishna says what people in general think of this material world? He says in the 16th chapter. So I'll read that verse, 16. Okay, so let me share.
Prabhuji, everybody thinks that they are the enjoyer and they are the ones that can lord over everything. That is what they think.
That's what they think, right? Excellent, thank you. And now I'll share the screen and let's see what Krishna says about these people. So in the 16th chapter, Krishna says this, 16:8. Asatyam apratishtam te jagatavur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kamahaitukam. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than the lust. So these people, they think this whole world is false, unreal, and there is no basis, there is no controller. It's just because of the sex life, whole world is running. So who are those people? Krishna says, I'm very sorry to say, but Krishna uses this word, those who are demonic. This is what they think. There is no controller. So, when there is this phone, say for example, iPhone, everyone has got a phone, iPhone or Samsung, whatever, smartphone. So does it, appear automatically?
No.
Did somebody make it?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So how much work has been put into before it comes out? There is so many arrangements. If we just see that, this is okay, this PC, this laptop is there, so much mechanism goes behind the scenes. So there is a creator. When we see rose flower, we understand that there is a tree. There is a plant it comes from. So like that, so there is a controller. That controller is talked in, explained who is that controller in Bhagavad Gita. So this whole world can be divided into 2 things, animate and inanimate, matter and spirit. So animate is spirit and inanimate is matter. So where do these 2 things come from? If you want to just classify and analyze everything and divide just to only in a broad category, animate and inanimate, spirit and matter, living and non-living. So Krishna says where they come from. Anybody remembers which chapter Krishna explains this? Matter and spirit, living and non-living. So it is explained in the 7th chapter. So if we go to 7th chapter, BG 7:4. So Krishna says here, he describes here matter. Let me share the screen. I might not have done it. Krishna explains the matter first. Bhumirapo analo vayu kammano buddhire vacha ahankara iti yamme binna prakruti ashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute of my separated material energies. So this is the matter. So 5 gross elements in the matter. That's earth, water, fire, air, ether, or space. These are the gross elements. And there are subtle elements: mind, intelligence, and false ego. A false ego makes us think that we are this body, this material body. It forces us to think that we are this body. That is false ego. So these mind, intelligence, and false ego, they are subtle. Subtle, we can't directly touch them. So that is subtle, and the other 5 are gross elements. So Krishna says, Bhinna Prakruti Ashtadha, iti yamme, my energies. So the matter is energy of Krishna. Krishna says me here. Me means mine. So they are separated energies of Krishna. So Krishna talks that matter is coming from him. Matter is his separated energy. So there is so much energy. I was talking to my son Sumit the other day, and he was mentioning about E is equal to mc square and Einstein, that and later E is equal to mc square was used to create this atom bomb. And so much energy is there in the matter. When the matter is fully destroyed, that energy is released. So Krishna says that matter is my energy. And next verse, he says that where the spirit comes from, there is a difference. Matter is non-living. And it has no consciousness. And let's see the next verse, 7:5. Apareyam itastvamanyam prakrutim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabhavo yayedam dharyate jagat. Besides these 8 material energies Krishna mentioned in the previous verse, O mighty Om Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises of the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So Krishna says there are living entities. Jiva Bhutam in Sanskrit, they are named living entities. They are superior to the matter, the material energies that were described in the previous verse. And what are they doing? They are exploiting the resources of the material inferior nature. So Krishna again says, energy of mind. So the word again, Sanskrit, me param. Me param means my energy, which is superior. So both matter and the spirit, so they are actually energies of Krishna. Superior, we are energy of Krishna. So actually we don't own anything. This body consists of, body means material energy. There are 8 energies: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And there is mind, intelligence, and ego. That belongs to Krishna. And the living force within the body, that is also belongs to Krishna. So we don't really own anything here. So, and Krishna says that here just sums up, all created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. So Krishna says that he is the source for both matter and the spirit. And a very interesting verse, in 7:7, Krishna says that there is no truth superior than him. Mattha parataram nanyat kinchiti asti dhananjaya maisarvamidam plotam sutre manighaniva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So if you are wondering, sometimes we think, who is the greatest controller? So to answer that question, Krishna says that there is nothing superior to me. Mata parataram nanya, there is nothing greater than me. I am the greatest, greater than the greatest. And sometimes the truth has to be revealed. When we say something, we boast ourselves, but Krishna is telling the fact. He has to tell the fact for us to understand. Sometimes people may think, why Krishna is saying that he is the greatest, but he is the greatest. We have to understand. He is giving us knowledge. He's giving us knowledge. So that we can understand who is the greatest. And another interesting factor here, he sums up very nicely that everything rests upon me. We thinking we know that from the science, that this whole planet is just floating in the sky. All planets, for that matter, they are just floating in the sky. So, for Krishna, the whole universe, the whole planet, earthly planet, looks like a grain of sand, probably from the spiritual world. So all these planets, they are just floating. But Krishna says that everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Very interesting analogy. When you see say for example, take the garland. And so when you see the garland, you will only see the flowers. But we don't see the thread. Actually, that is the one which is holding all the flowers together. But for us, when we look at this garland, and then we just think, oh, how nice the flowers are. But actually, what is holding them together was the thread. Similarly, when we look at everything, it is so nice. There is so many things going on in this material world. And there is a system. There is intelligence in the universe. There is sunrise, sunset, all these books that we study, that there is some science, some order. If there is no order, there is no intelligence, that we are not able to do anything. If DNA acts in one way today and tomorrow in another way, you take any medicine, today it binds to one receptor and tomorrow it binds to another receptor. And from today it binds to beta, then tomorrow it binds to alpha receptors, like that. So if it goes randomly, then we wouldn't have done anything. So there is an order in the universe. There is a system, there is intelligence. Even in the body, within our body, there is so much intelligence. Yes. So all this is happening because of Krishna. Everything rests upon me. Krishna says that. So Next, I wanted to take you to 9th chapter. I hope everyone is there, and maybe somebody can read. Let me just ask who else is here. Could I have a volunteer to read some of the verses, please? Because I can't see who is there.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please. From 4th onwards.
Yeah. 1 minute. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me.
Sorry, just 1 second. Some background noise is coming. So let me mute some people. Yeah. So, sorry, Prabhu, carry on, please.
Yeah. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again.
That's fine.
It is annihilated at the end.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. So there are some very interesting points that we can take from these verses from 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that he pervades entire universe in his unmanifested form. So he may be sitting in one place, but his energy, through his energy, he pervades entire universe. I'll give a simple example that a boss may not be physically present in the office, but in every who can look every corner, the employee sees boss energy. That if I don't do this job, okay, no, I'll be told off. I'll be caught. If I do this mistake, I'll be caught. So they see the energy of the boss, although boss is not there physically. So Krishna is pervading, this whole entire universe is pervaded by him. And Krishna gives one interesting analogy that Yathakasha stito nityam vayu sarvatra gomhan tata sarvani bhutani matstaritu padaraya. Verse number 6. So the mighty wind blowing everywhere, and it always rests in the sky. So within the sky it can move, but and beyond this, beyond the sky, it can't do anything. Similarly, we also have little freedom within that limit. There is certain limit within that we have certain freedom, but that is also given by Krishna. And Krishna further says that this whole material universe is created and annihilated by him, by his potency. And sometimes you wonder how the whole material nature is working. We talked about this sun and other things. Say, for example, you put a seed in your garden and a nice plant comes. So the material nature, we see so many wonders, so much intelligence in the material nature around us. And so Krishna, he tells us that how this material nature is working. Verse number 10. Very interesting verse. 9:10. Maya dyekshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam ketunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. This material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So sometimes we wonder, under my direction, how whole universe is working. Say, for example, so this phone again, take the phone, and there is some technology they put together, and although the manufacturer is not here, it is functioning because he had put some mechanism in there. Yes. Similarly, Krishna. So Krishna is the first software engineer, right? And this material cosmic manifestation can be considered as an hardware that you can see and perceive and actually physically touch. So this is considered to be hardware, but behind this hardware there is a program, that is software. So Krishna had programmed the entire material nature, and with that programming, it just goes on working. Sometimes we see that instruments operating, although the operator is far away from the instrument, but that instrument starts working because he had done the programming, and he can work, he can operate it from remotely. So similarly, Krishna can operate, is operating this whole material world remotely just by programming it. So let's see what else we can discuss. And Krishna says in the 10th chapter, a very famous verse, 10:8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So sometimes we wonder, who is the source? And Krishna here says clearly that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So when we realize this truth, that everything is coming from Krishna, and Krishna is the source of everything, both material and spiritual world. There is another world beyond this world that is called spiritual world, which is eternal. This material world, this material manifestation is created and annihilated. It sometimes it manifests, but after some time it will be in the unmanifested state. Whereas the spiritual world is always manifested, eternal. So both material and spiritual worlds are coming from Krishna. Everyone, for that matter, I am the source of everyone, he says. I am the source of everything. And those who really understand this truth about me, and what do? They worship me with all their hearts. And this fact is also confirmed by Arjun. Arjun says, 12 and 13 then. So Arjuna also confirms this truth about Krishna. So 10th chapter, verse 12 and 13. Arjuna vacha param brahma parandama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam majam vibhum ahustvam rushaya sarve devarishir naradhastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishime. Can I have a volunteer, please, to read this translation?
Come, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Praneshwar
please.
Prabhu will read.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, "You are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
So Arjuna is here says that Krishna, yes, you are the original person. You are the supreme person, and you are eternal. You are greatest. So not only me, but all the great people, great saintly people, after reading all the Vedic literatures, they also confirm the same truth, what you have said. And that is Narada, Sita, Devala, Vyasa, they also confirm that you are the original person. And you are the greatest controller, greatest master. Everything comes from you. So Arjuna says, Arjuna also confirms this. The one question that can be asked is that why then Krishna comes? If he is the controller, if he is the master, if everything comes from him, then why does Krishna come to this material world? Who would like to answer this question? Why does he come? We are coming, and he is also coming. I am coming, and Krishna is also coming. Then, so I know that why am I coming? What's the difference? Who would like to say? Yes.
Krishna, sorry.
Go on, please.
Prabhuji, there was somebody who was saying, so that's why I stopped.
No. Please go on. Madhakumar Prabhu raised his hand, but I will pick him up later. Yeah, carry on, Mataji.
He comes to when there's a lot of irreligious things coming, then he comes to re-establish religion, and he also comes to give pleasure to the devotees. And at the same time, he vanquishes the demons as well.
Wonderful. So that was his purpose. Yes, Madhakumar Prabhu?
More or less the same thing, Prabhu. Paritarana sadhuna vinashacha dushritam dharma sansthapanakaya samavayivege. That's the verse in the Gita. But a lot of other scriptures give the message that he could do all this simply by thinking. He doesn't really need to take so much of an effort to do all this business. Essentially, he comes to partake in the loving relationship with devotees. That's
Wonderful.
The main purpose he comes to.
Excellent. Yes, he could do remotely everything that, killing all the demons and re-establishing the religious principles can be done remotely. But you made a wonderful point. Thanks again. Anil Prabhu, Anil Singhu.
Yeah, to claim back all the fallen souls, to take back to him.
Yes, wonderful. Wow. So this is there in the Bhagavatam, isn't it?
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
Krishna comes to reclaim all of us, so we left our home, and we are trying to find happiness, but we are struggling here. Yes, sometimes we may be happy for some time, but eventually we are suffering. The four miseries of this world are birth, death, old age, and disease. No one can escape. Disease is a problem. No one is freed from disease. No one is freed from old age. We know what a old age feel like, looks like. Many doctors are here on this Zoom call. They know much better than me disease and the old age. And then so birth and death. We have to give up this body one day, and when we take birth, we have to, mother undergoes pain, even the baby undergoes pain. So the miseries are there. So we are wondering. So he's coming to reclaim all of us and take us back to our home, That's why he gives, this nectarian pastimes of him, so that we can get attracted towards him. So what's the difference between his appearance? Yeah, so we now understood the purpose why he comes. The purpose was nicely mentioned. What is the difference between his appearance and our appearance? Is there any difference between his appearance and our appearance? Anybody would like to say? Here we have one, Lalita Preeti. Yeah, you want to say? Come here, because nobody can listen to you. Okay, let's see. Three devotees have raised a hand already. I don't know if it was the previous question or this one. Who would like to answer? What's the difference between his appearance and our appearance? Govinda Prabhu, we discussed this recently in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
When Krishna takes his birth, he can take his birth wherever he wants, but when we can't really decide which family and where we take birth.
We can't take it. Yes. So yeah, thank you. Bhuneshwari Radhamataji, you wanted to say something?
Prabhuji, Krishna comes in his own spiritual body, whereas we have to be, we are affected by the material nature, the 3 modes of material nature, but Krishna is not, because he comes in his transcendental body.
Excellent.
So he never takes any birth and he does not die either, he just comes and disappears.
Yes, appears and disappears. And his body is spiritual, you nicely mentioned, and our body is material. And because this material body has beginning, it will also has end. Yes, and Krishna, he just appear and disappear like sun. Wonderful. And Govinda Prabhu also mentioned very nice point that he comes out of his own his own sweet will. We are forced. We are here because we are governed by our karma. Because of our karma, we take birth in a male body or a female body or in any other living entity, body of any other living entity. We don't know which body we're going to get in the next life. We have no control whatsoever. We might lose this human form and might get an animal body or a plant body. There are 8,400,000 species of life that exist. We can get any form, but Krishna can choose his own form. If he wants to come in the form of a fish, he can appear. And if he wants to take a form of boar, he can take the form of boar. And off man, off lion, he can take any form, but he does out of his own sweet will. But we don't have any control. We are forced to enter into the body based on our karma. So Krishna says these facts actually in the 4th chapter very nicely describes all these points. And so the other point that I wanted to mention is that in the 15th chapter, there is a verse. Let's read that. So we'll just take a few minutes, 15, famous verse. So let's see what Krishna is saying here. Where do we get our intelligence, memory, forgetfulness? Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smrutir jnanam apovanam cha vedaicha sarvam mahameha vedyo Vedanta Krutveda Videva Chaham. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Do you have a volunteer to read this translation, please?
I'll read for you, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Translation to 15 verse, 15 chapter. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Thank you, Prabhu, Madhav Kumar Prabhu.
Hare
So Krishna here says that he is seated in everyone's heart. He is in me, he is in you, he is in everyone, every living entity, whether be it be animal or human or a plant, every living entity. So Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. And Krishna also says that the remembrance that we have, the knowledge that we have, and sometimes we forget things, everything, matta smrutir jnanam apogunam cha. So they come from Krishna. So, and he also says that, the purpose of the Vedas, the whole Vedic literature is to know Krishna. I am the knower of the Vedas. And by all the Vedas, I am to be known. This is the important point here, that by reading all the Vedas, the purpose of all the Vedas is to know him. And how can we achieve peace? By knowing this truth about Krishna, we can achieve peace. Sorry, there is a background noise. I'm not sure who is that. Could you please kindly mute yourself? Let me just see who is that. Everyone is muted. Yeah, this is the last verse, and we'll stop here. So this is the feast formula, Prabhupada called it, and our Madhav Kumar Prabhu gave a class on this once. So 529, beautiful points Krishna mentions here. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suvrudham sarva bhutanam jnatva mam shantim ruchyati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So when we know the truth, these things about Krishna, the first thing is that he is the enjoyer, ultimate enjoyer of everything. And is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. That means he is the proprietor of everything. We are only caretaker. We are not the proprietor. That is the consciousness we should have. Yes, we are. I'm given, Krishna gave this house to me. Then I should take care of it. He is the proprietor, but I'm caretaker. So second point, first point is the enjoyer of everything. And second point, he owns everything. He is the proprietor. Every planet, material and the spiritual. And third point is that Suvrudham Sarva Bhutanam is the real well-wisher. He is our well-wisher. That's why he is coming with us, life after life. Yes, if I lose this human body, if I take another animal body in the next life, he is going to be with me. He just is accompanying me. My family members, they are not able to join me in the next life. But Krishna is coming with me, life after life after life. And why is he coming? He's just waiting for us to turn towards him. Even in Bhagavad Gita and in the Vedas, this analogy is given. Two birds sitting on a branch of tree. One bird is busy eating the fruits of that tree, And another bird is witnessing the actions of the bird who is eating the fruits. And these fruits, the bird that is eating the fruits are us. And the fruits are sometimes bitter, sometimes sour, sometimes sweet. But the another bird who is witnessing is Krishna. So Krishna is just sitting in our heart and just witnessing everything and waiting for us to turn towards him, and then we will achieve this peace. So we are very grateful to our dear Srila Prabhupada. Because of him, we are able to read this wonderful scripture. And Prabhupada translated all these books into simple English so that we can understand, not only in English, but he had delivered hundreds and thousands of lectures and explained the subject matter very lucidly so that a common man can understand. So we are very fortunate and we are ever grateful to Srila Prabhupada. So let's take advantage of this time and read Prabhupada books to perfect our lives. So thank you very much, everyone. So I would like to just wait for a few minutes. Of course, Madhav Kumar Prabhu is there. I think he's going to make an announcement about Gita distribution, what we can do, that we can read these scriptures and we can also share with others. So when we share this knowledge with others, we get deeper realization. We get a benefit by sharing this knowledge with others, by giving these Bhagavad Gitas to others. So Madhav Kumar Prabhu, I'm sure he's going to make an announcement about that. But in the meantime, if you have any comments or any questions, please do so. So Madhav Kumar Prabhu, you want to say something about Gitas?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Just wanted to thank you, first of all, for very kindly detailing the importance of Bhagavad Gita as a scripture. Radha Vinod Prabhu also emphasized on the same point previous week. And it's very nice that we've taken a decision to talk about the Gita and the subject matter it covers over the next few sessions. So it'll be good for everyone to attend. Thank you for that. I just wanted to share that everyone's fully aware that every year we have what is called a books marathon, normally around Christmas, but this year, because of the uncertainty around everything, the marathon is 3 months long, so it's already on. And we are trying to work towards a goal of distributing 50,000 Bhagavad Gitas in the UK with the help of all the devotees in different temples. So yeah, if you feel inspired a little bit to share this with your friends and family, please do your bit and take as many copies of Gita you'd like. We are able to post it to you. One box we can post it to you if you're not in Manchester. One box has only about 16 Gitas, which should be easy to do over the next 10 weeks until Christmas. So if anyone's keen to share the love, as they say, and is feeling inspired, please let us know. Be in touch either with GuaraNataraj directly or any other temple management or myself. We are happy to support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. So appreciate your time, and we have discussed one among 5 main topics, and the other topics will be discussed on other Fridays. The details will be out soon. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the beautiful class.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Madhu Mataji, for tuning in.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Haribol, Anil Prabhu, thank you.